Hi friends, today we are going to learn what is regression testing. Okay, it is one type of testing. Okay, so already we have covered what is retesting. So today we are going to learn regression testing. One second. Okay, this is about this is the regression testing. Okay, suppose that before regression testing we have to learn some of the terminologies. Suppose what happens in the testing. We will get the requirement document, SRS, PRD, and even for some companies will give design documents also. Then after that, what you have to do, you have to read those documents and you have to understand the functionality. Okay, after understanding the functionality, what we have to do, we have to write test scenarios. Okay, and depending on the scenarios, test cases will be written. Okay, in some companies directly they will write the test cases. Whatever it is, you write the scenarios. After writing the scenarios, you can write the test cases, or directly you can write the test cases. Okay, after writing the test cases, we have to wait for the executable file to come. Means after development, we will get the executable file, that is the exe file. Okay, that exe file or the executable file is called build. Already discussed about it, so it is called build. And there will be a number. If the first time we'll get, if you get the build, then build number will be 1. Okay, suppose that we got the build 1. Okay, then what we have to do, we have to execute all our test cases on that build. So suppose that we have written 100 test cases and we have executed all these 100 test cases. Test cases, how many? 100. Okay, and we have reached the 100 test cases. Suppose that we got defects, 10 defects we got. Defects, how many? 10. Okay, these 10 defects, what we have to do, we have to send it to the development department. How we will send it? By documenting it in defect report or defect profile document. The name will be anything. Okay, as per the company. Then those defects we have to send it to the development department. The development department, what they will be doing is they will be fixing those defects. Okay, after fixing those defects, again they will make a new build and they will give a new build to is. Now the build number is how much? 2. Okay, so in after getting the, sorry, after getting the build 2, what we have to do first? First we have to execute the 10 test cases. Which 10 test cases? The 10 cases which are fail or which we got the defect. Okay, these 10 test cases, okay, for which we got the defects has to be executed, and that execution of those defective test cases or execution of the failed test cases is known as retesting. Okay, then what is the regression testing? Though what you have to do now, after the execution of the 10 failed test cases, what are left? 90 past test cases. Test Past test cases are left. These 90 past test cases we have to execute. Okay, so execution of these 90 past test cases is nothing but regression testing. What is it known as? Regression testing. Okay, then you may be thinking, okay, these are the past test cases. No, these are already past. Then why you are executing those past test cases once again in the new build? This is the new build. This is the second build. Already in first build we have executed these 90 test cases. Means we have executed the 100 test cases, means we also executed the 90 test cases. Means they in that iteration, means the test cases are passed. Then why you are executing the those test cases in the second build? See, we have sent 10 defects to the development department. So to fix, in order to fix those 10 defects, what the development means what the programmer will do, he will open the code and he will do some modification in the code, okay, in order to fix the defects. Okay, so this means that now he is giving the new build, which is the modified build. Okay, so there is a chance that the already past functionality may fail because he has opened the code and he has done some modification. So you have to recheck whether the the functionality which is passed in the previous build or the previous iteration is working fine or not. So because of that reason, we are executing these 90 test cases. I think you understood. Okay, so you may be thinking, okay, when exactly this regression testing will happen? Whenever a defect is being fixed, the regression we have to do, regression is executing the past test cases, and whenever a new functionality is being added. Okay, suppose that in build 2 we have done the regression testing and we got some 20 defects. Okay, 20 defects, you got it. Okay, so again what we will do, again we will document, means we will update the defect profile document or the defect report, and we will add some more defects in that, and we will send it to the development department, and again the new build will come. That will be build 3, build number 3 will come. Okay, and what we have to do, first we have to execute those 20 failed test cases. Okay, well, this is what is called retesting. Okay, then after that, how many test cases are left? 80 test cases are left. 80 past test cases. Okay, and then we have to execute those 80 past test cases. What is this called? Regression. Okay, hope you understood this. Suppose that now, while means while you are doing the testing, some new changes has been done. Means a customer has added some more requirements. Maybe it happens. Okay, so there was, suppose there were no defects. Okay, we have found no defects, but a new functionality been added. Okay, then what they will do, developers will do, they will again release the new build with change in the functionality. Build number, then what will be the build number? Build number will be 3. Okay, sorry, here already, here it will be 3 and here it will be 4. Okay, now what happens? Now what you have to do? We don't have any failed test cases now. So what you have to do? First, whenever a new functionality is being added, anyhow, already we have written 100 test cases, suppose. And for the new functionality, again 30 test cases are being added. Now the number of test cases are cases is equal to 100 plus 30 is equal to 130. So first what we will do, first we will execute the 30 test cases. Execute 30 new test cases. Okay, and these new 30 test cases are new, so this is called new testing. We'll see any other name is there also or not. Okay, treat it as new testing. Okay, testing the new functionality. And again what you have to do, those 100 test cases, left out 100 test cases are what? the old test cases which are passed. So we are doing again, we have to execute those 100 test cases. Why? Because here bug fixing is not done, but new test cases, new functionality is being added into the code. Means that again he has opened the code and he has done some modification in the code. For this means that again we have to check whether the old functionality is working fine or not. For that we have to execute those 100 test cases. This means that we have executing the 100 past test cases. This means that we are doing regression testing. So this means that regression testing is done whenever a defect is being fixed and whenever a new functionality is being added. Okay, so in the both the case we have to do regression testing, and the regression testing which is done uh, by adding the new functionality is called functional regression testing, and the regression testing which is done due to the bug fixation is known as bug regression testing. Okay, so for your understanding I am telling you. Now you will see the definition. Okay, this is what is the explanation. Okay, see the definition. uh, Regression testing is a black box testing technique. Okay, right, but yes, only testers can do it. Okay, developers will not do any regression testing. Okay, uh, this is used for uh, automate a code change in the software does not impact the existing functionality of the product. Okay, regression testing is making sure that the product works fine with the new functionality or bug fixing or any change in the existing features. Okay, so regression testing will be done if any bug is being fixed or any new functionality is being added or any change in the functionality. If you are changing the existing functionality, then also what we have to do, we have to write the some new test cases. Okay, for that. Okay, if you are changing any functionality, existing functionality. Okay, then also we have to perform regression testing, because in all the three cases what is happening, code is being opened and code is being changed. Okay, uh, test cases are re-executed to check the previous functionality of the application is working fine. Okay, regression testing can be performed on the new build when there is a significant change in the original functionality. Okay, if it ensures that the code still works even with the changes are occurring. Okay, regression means retesting those parts of the applications which are unchanged. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, means we have to execute the past test cases. Okay. Hmm. Test cases are often automated. Okay, test cases are required to execute many times, and running the same test cases again and again manually is time consuming and tedious too. Means that suppose that there is a change in the functionality or there is a bug fixation, for every time whenever the new build comes we have to do the regression testing. Okay, if it is 100 test cases it is okay, but suppose there are 1500, 2000, 3000 test cases, then what happens? Every time it is time consuming and it is very tedious. Okay, if the tester will do the same job again and again and again, the same testing, he may lose the interest. Okay, which may affect the performance. Okay, and or the effectiveness of his work. So here most of the cases, that's why the because of this regression testing only the automation came into picture. Okay, so automation tools are available, Selenium, UFT. Okay, then after bug fixing, whenever the build comes for the testing team, then the tester will first perform the retesting, that is executing all the test cases which are failed in the previous iteration in order to check whether the defects have been fixed or not. Okay, then they will execute all the other test cases which are passed in the previous iteration. Okay, in order to check whether the functionality which was passed in the previous iteration is working fine or not. That is what is the regression. This type of testing, the functionality which was passed in the previous iteration is called as regression testing. The main interview point of question, what is retesting and regression testing? Okay, hope you understood what is regression testing. Okay, uh, regression testing is only done by the test engineers, and regression testing will be done from the second iteration onwards. In first iteration we can't do, because in the first iteration we will be sending the defects. Okay, so the modified, when the modified build comes or the new build comes, then only we have to, first we have to retest it, then we have to do the regression testing. So it is also done from the second iteration onwards. Okay, so here what is the bug regression testing? What I told you, to fix a raised bug, developer has to do some modification in the code. Okay, this means that code will be affected during bug rectification. Okay, in that case, there will be a chance that already working functionality may not work, or already past test cases may fail now. Okay, in order to check, this regression testing has to be done. Okay, as regression testing is done due to bug fixation, this, it is called as bug regression testing. Okay, no one will call you, no one will in interview will ask you what is bug regression testing, but it will be easy to understand that, okay, there is a bug regression testing. If you are doing a regression testing because of the change, because of the bug fixation, then we can say it as bug regression testing. Okay, then what is functional regression testing? Suppose that during testing phase, customer has given change request. Okay, changes means change request, through change request, and the changes are being implemented in the software, and the new build with different version is being released. Here the version is not the project is actually the internal version of the project. Okay, before the release. Okay, there will be two versions. In the version controlling, you will be learning all those things. There will be two versions will be maintained. Okay, so I will be explaining a small bit about the versions also. Suppose that here in the first time when the build comes, suppose the version of the uh, uh, project version, let it be 1.0. Okay, in the second build also, there is only bug fixation, but there is no change in the functionality, or no functionality being added. So here also, the in this case, in the second iteration also, the project version will be what? The same version will be there. Here, see. Okay, because in the second iteration also there is no change in the functionality. Means there is no extra functionality is been added. In the third also, only bugs, we got 20 bugs, but in the third also, no extra. Treat that, okay, no extra. But here in the fourth iteration, before the fourth iteration, what happened? Yeah, they have added some additional functionality. Because of that only, we have written 10 cases for the new functionality. So suppose that now the build project version will be changing, because new functionality has been added to the project. Okay, build number will be anyhow changing whenever the iteration changes. Okay, but project version will also be, so let it be 2.0. Okay, and how the versioning will be done, it depends upon the company. Okay, no need to worry. So here my point is, whenever whenever means requirements are added, then only version will be changing, otherwise version will remain the same thing. Okay, so here that's what it is. Here what happens, suppose that during the testing phase, customer has given change request, mean change in the requirements. Okay, and the changes are being implemented in the software, and new build with different version, then only, because there is a change in, there is an additional requirements being added. Okay, so the version has been released, new version has been released for testing. After testing the new functionality, testers has to test the all the old functionality in order to check whether the new functionality has affected the old functionality or not. Okay, because they have done changes in the code. Okay, as regression testing is done due to the change in the functionality, it is called as functional regression testing. Okay, note, what is this note? Testing the new testing the new features for the first time is known as what? New testing, but not regression testing. Okay, so already I told you that okay, for you are these test cases are executed for the first time, and these test cases belong to the new functionality. So testing the new functionality is called new testing, not the regression testing. Okay, what is regression testing? Executing the only past test cases once again. Okay, so who will be doing that? Test engineer will be doing that. Okay, hope you understood what is regression testing. Okay, in later classes we will be learning about the other types of testings also. Okay, have a nice day.